Hi Harbor Kids. As I mentioned last week, in this unit of the Gospel Project, the big picture question that follows us throughout is, why did God create people? And the answer is that He created people to worship Him, love Him, and show His glory. And this is an important job we have as believers as we show His glory. What does that look like? When we show His glory, we can start seeing others in our family and not in our family, people that look like us and that those that don't, as uniquely designed and loved children of God. God made each of us different because He sees beauty in us and our differences. May we keep showing God's glory to others and seeing the beauty in those around us every day. Now for this week's lesson. Today, we will see a time when Jesus heals a woman and raises a little girl from the dead. Watch and see what happens.
Jesus stood on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, and a large crowd gathered around him. Jairus, one of the leaders in the synagogue, fell at Jesus' feet and begged for his help. "My daughter is about to die. Please come touch her so she will be healed and live," he said. Jesus went with Jairus, and many people followed, crowding around him. In the crowd was a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years. She had seen many doctors and had spent all her money trying to get better, but no one could help her. She was getting worse. The woman said to herself, "If I touch even Jesus' clothes, I will be healed." She came up behind Jesus in the crowd and touched his clothes. Immediately, her bleeding stopped and she knew she was healed. At that moment, Jesus felt that power had gone out of him. He turned around. "Who touched my clothes?" he asked. Jesus' disciples pointed out that many people were crowded around him, but Jesus kept looking around. The woman, knowing she was healed, came forward and fell before Jesus. She told him what had happened. Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. You are healed." While Jesus was speaking, some men came from Jairus' house and told Jairus, "Your daughter is dead. Do not bother Jesus anymore." Jesus heard what the men said, and he told Jairus, "Do not be afraid. Just believe." Jesus and 3 of his disciples went to Jairus' house. People there were crying and wailing loudly. "Why are you crying?" Jesus asked. "The child is not dead. She is sleeping." The people laughed because they did not believe Jesus, and he told them all to leave. Jesus took Jairus and his wife into the room where the child was. He took the girl by the hand and said, "Little girl, get up." Immediately, the girl got up and began walking around. Jairus and his wife were amazed. Jesus told them to give the girl some food and to not tell anyone what had happened. By healing the woman and raising the little girl from the dead, Jesus showed his power as the Messiah. Jesus died on the cross and rose again to save people from sin and death. When we trust in Jesus, God forgives our sins and changes us to be more like His Son.
Both the woman who touches Jesus' clothes and the father of the little girl needed Jesus' help, and they trusted in Jesus' power to heal. Jesus has power over sickness and death. When we have faith, Jesus raises us to new life in Him and heals us from the damage sin causes. One last thing, remember to send your pictures of your Lego creations, drawings, and notes to AJ@harborcity.church. See you next week.